This is Reggie, aka SpeedinBullet from the SpeedinBullet podcast channel, and also TBD, the radio show. So, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about ABC pulling the Jimmy Kimmel show. So ABC pulls Jimmy Kimmel Live off the air indefinitely following remarks that he made about Charlie Kirk. So this is big because this falls into a lot of what's going on now with cancel culture and the Trump administration's attack on the First Amendment, which a lot of people reference the First Amendment without really knowing what that means. So I'm going to talk about just what has happened with Jimmy Kimmel and then give you my opinion on why this is very, very problematic. So ABC and its parent company, Disney, have pulled Jimmy Kimmel Live off the air indefinitely, according to numerous news reports. So ABC said the move is due to his comments about the killing of Charlie Kirk. So Kimmel was removed and he made comments on the killing of Charlie Kirk during his opening monologue on Monday. What he said was, "We had some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them." This is what Kimmel said during the monologue. ABC's decision comes after Nexstar, who is the owner of a bunch of small ABC station affiliates, announced that it would no longer air Kimmel's show on any of its more than 20 affiliates across the country. Nexstar, which currently is in the midst of a $6.2 billion acquisition of fellow broadcaster Tegna that needs approval from the Trump administration, said it will preempt the show due to Kimmel's remarks. It says, "I want to thank Nexstar for doing the right thing," FCC Chairman Brendan Carr said on X. Local broadcasters have the obligation to serve the public interest. While this may not be an unprecedented decision, it is important for broadcasters to push back on Disney's programming that they determine falls short of community value. So that is what was said by the FCC chairman, Brendan Carr, on X. Previously, Carr threatened to pull the license of ABC and Disney over the show. Kimmel has not yet commented on either move. California Governor Gavin Newsom called out the move on X, saying buying and controlling media platforms, firing commentators, canceling shows, these aren't coincidences. It's coordinated and it's dangerous. The GOP does not believe in free speech. They are censoring you in real life. This is what Gavin wrote. Kimmel's monologue, like most of his monologues, appears to have been taken in a way that made Kimmel joke about, the president's response to the killing. Specifically, the moment a reporter and a group of others also asked questions about how Trump was feeling after Kirk was killed. And Trump said, "I think very good," Trump said. And by the way, right there you see all of the trucks. They just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House. Kimmel went on to joke, he's at the fourth stage of grief, construction. Reaction to the shooting. Kimmel is the latest media personality to be pulled off the air for comments made regarding Kirk's killing. MSNBC fired political analyst Matthew Dowd for his comments, which included calling Kirk divisive. While Kimmel alluded to Kirk's killer as possibly being MAGA, several Republicans, including Trump, immediately blamed Democrats for the shooting before the arrest took place. Fox News host Jesse Waters immediately claimed they're at war with us. You may be asking, why does this story matter? Well, the suspension of Jimmy Kimmel Live by ABC and Disney followed remarks about the killing of Charlie Kirk. It raises questions about broadcast standards, corporate decision making, and the influence of political context on media programming. So let's circle back to the First Amendment. So everyone is taught, probably in elementary school, what the First Amendment was. The First Amendment is freedom of speech. And most of us have come to realize that freedom of speech is not freedom of consequences. And your speech can be free, but people are free to disagree, and they are free to levy out consequences based on what your speech entails. But what does freedom of speech in the First Amendment means? Freedom of speech really means that the government does not have the ability to limit your speech, meaning that the government can't force you not to speak. The government cannot force you to not express your opinion or beliefs. And for the most part, that has been consistent and true throughout U.S. history, that the government doesn't make an attempt to stop your freedom of speech. However, in this Trump administration, what they have been able to do is to use their leverage within the federal government to be able to silence anybody that disagrees with them, which is in the true essence, it is a violation of your First Amendment, that the government is making an effort to limit your speech. And what the government did here through the FCC is to threaten to remove or to take away different broadcasting licenses if these affiliates did not pull, did not, pretty much force ABC to suspend and ultimately, I'm sure, fire Jimmy Kimmel. So pressure from the government to be able to silence your speech is in the essence of the freedom of speech argument. So this is why this is important. You may have seen or heard a lot of folks on the right, people like J.D. Vance and Stephen Miller and Pam Bondi, and a lot of people in the Trump administration that have vowed to go after and attack anyone whose speech that they feel is not does not agree with their viewpoints or their politics. They're using the death of Charlie Kirk to be able to push this agenda